We're now at the end of the chapter, and we're finally going to learn one of the most key concepts in EdgeDB, which is links. And that's because right now we have a city type or an NPC type, and it has this places visited property, and it's just an array of strings. And so it's not connecting to any of the city objects, and we would like to connect to them. And so all we have to do is change it a little bit and then do a migration. And so what we do is we change it to, we keep the same name, and we'll say multi because links are single by default, but we want to link to multiple cities because it's places visited, and then we just specify the type, which is going to be a city. So let's copy that and then go into our code. Whoops, not there. There we go. And then, so this is going to be multi, and then instead of an array of strings, it's going to be city. So it's a link to the city types. And then what we do is we go open up the terminal. There we go. And then we're going to do a migration as usual. So EdgeDB migration create, and then get those questions again. And this time it's kind of interesting because it says, did you drop the property? And here we're okay with saying yes because we don't have any data. Later on, if we had some arrays of strings and we wanted to keep that data, then we would do probably 2 migrations or maybe 3. So we would probably make a new property, first make like a link next to the property, like make an extra link, and then take the places visited data and then use that to maybe insert some cities, and then make sure that we have some data or some links there with the data from the strings that are originally there, and then only after that we would decide to drop the property, because this if you drop the property, it'll drop all the data. But for the time being, it's really simple, and we don't have any places visited data, so we can just say, yeah, we'll drop it. And after we said we dropped it, then it'll say, okay, did you want to create the link? And yes, we did. So we do that, and then we can migrate the data, or migrate the schema rather, and then do that. And if you want to go into the migration script, we can just take a look at what happened. So yeah, changed this type 2 times, it dropped a property, and it created a link. So now we have a link. So then that means it's time to finally insert Jonathan Harker, and then he's finally going to be linked to some cities. So let's see. We did that. That's right. And as we just saw now, when we drop a property, it drops all the data, so it doesn't ask us for an expression. So just be very sure when you're actually using, when you have a lot of data, when it says it's going to drop something, it's going to drop all the data. So just make sure that you're keeping an eye on that. And so now we're going to insert Jonathan Harker. And so insert NPC, he's got a name, it's Jonathan Harker. And then, now if we only wrote Jonathan Harker, then it would create us an NPC because an NPC only needs a name. But then if we selected it, it would show places visited is an empty set. But we don't want that. We want him to be connected to the cities. And for the time being, all of the city types are exactly the ones that Jonathan Harker visited. So we can just say city, and we don't need to filter on the city right now. It's just every city in the database so far is a place that he's visited. So once we've done that, we have Jonathan Harker in there, and then we can select him and see what he has. And so name, places visited, get that shape, and And you'll notice, so the output is pretty good, except for, you see the cities here, we didn't say anything about the shape of the city. So this means give an NPC with the name, which is a string, and then places visited, that just means an object, and that's going to show only the ID by default. So if we want a more readable output, then we would change that to select NPC, places visited. So this is going to have its own shape. This is the city type, and inside places visited, we would like to see its name. And that gives us this nicer output. So you can see name, places visited, and then inside there are the names of all the cities that Jonathan has visited so far. And so this is also a good example of how we can traverse a longer path this time. So we can go NPC places visited dot name, and so that goes from from path to path to path, and finally leads us to this set of strings that shows us all of the names of the city types that we found through the NPC object this time. So there's that. And what else? Yeah, that's right. One other note is that our schema right now doesn't prevent us from making multiple Jonathan Harkers. So there's no way to prevent duplicates right now, but there's an easy way to prevent that. So we're going to learn that well, actually in chapter 7. But you can skip ahead if you want to see how to do that right now. So yeah, we looked at that, got the set of strings, and there you go. And it looks like we are at the end of the chapter. So there's going to be one more video after this. We're just going to do, so each chapter has a few practice questions, and then we'll just look at that. And then after that video, we will be officially done chapter 1.